What will happen tomorrow? I think it will be life as usual for most of us. But for some people somewhere on this planet Earth, they may not be so lucky. Why do I say that? Most of us won't feel the pinch of the trade war, but the impact will take more money from our already tight wallets. And if you are a farmer in Iowa, you may have to worry about the price of wheat. A few hours ago, I found in Nostradamus' Book of Prophecy a seemingly clear indication that the end time has just begun when French people started to take their anger to the streets with yellow jackets. But most people have little confidence in what Nostradamus says, not because he was always wrong, but because no one had decoded his quatrains correctly. But I thought he was very clear in his predictions. But even when Nostradamus' predictions are right, and my decoding about coming disasters are also right, can it help much? None of my readers have the power to bring peace, nor to stop wars. Plus, if fate is already set, will our actions change anything? So I actually kind of put my work on hold and started decoding Chinese prophecies. And surprisingly, many people viewed and agreed with my decodings. But the same question remains. Even if we know what will happen in advance, and even if we try to do something, will that help? The answer is, I don't know. But I have to tell you that all 7 Chinese prophecies stated clearly a war is imminent. It will happen sooner than you can imagine. And 2 events recently have happened that seem to only worsen my fears. In Century 1 Quatrain 42, quote, "The 10th day of the April calends, calculated in Gothic fashion, is revived again by wicked people. The fire is put out, but the diabolical gathering seek the bones of the demon of Silius." I will not go through the detailed decoding on why I believe this is about the Notre Dame fire, but you can follow the link. But because the fire happened on April 15, only 5 days from the predicted April 10, made this quatrain more believable. So we can see how precise Nostradamus can be. Another event which just happened when 4 of Saudi's oil tanks were badly damaged. You don't need me to tell you how bad that will affect everyone. The gas price is already so high that we can hardly afford it. Now this? But what does that have to do with Nostradamus? Check out Century 7 Quatrain 40. Quote, "Within cask anointed outside with oil and grease, 21 will be shut before the harbor. And second watch, through they will do great deeds, to win the gate and be killed by the watch." If the first line correctly described the oil tankers, then more oil cargo ships will be shut before the harbor. And the number 21 will somehow play a part. Does that mean 17 more attacks will happen before we put an end to this? Or will 21 involved be shut before the harbor? And the next line is quite confusing. At second watch, through death they will do great deeds. What does that mean? Someone will die. How can death be called great deeds? And what is second watch? I hate to say this, could this damage a self-inflicted plot so the oil price can hike again? Will a deeper look reveal the real reason behind the attacks? The watch was then mentioned in the last line. Quote, "To win the gates and be killed by the watch." I guess we will know who the watch may be when someone is killed. And maybe that will lead us to know what the gates be. With oil prices so high, who controls the distribution of oil? Can it be the gatekeeper to world power? Could it be what the quatrain really means? I think this is an important event of our time. There may be more than one quatrain in the Book of Prophecy. And my search led me to Century 3, Quatrain 64, quote, "The chief of Persia will occupy great Olcades. The trireme fleet against the Mahometan people from Parthia and Media, and the Cyclades pillaged. Long rest at the great Ionian port." It is hard to understand every word in the quatrain, and therefore hard to tell the true meaning of it. But this is my bold decoding. Iran occupies the oil-rich lands. A three-country alliance military force will fight against the Muslim forces. The media will play a part in this crisis. Iranian ports will be blockaded. For the past 500 years since Nostradamus released his predictions, no one was able to decode his quatrains before events unfolded. However, if these two quatrains are really about the current Iran crisis, maybe we can finally do the impossible. It is not easy to decode Nostradamus because he wrote 942 quatrains. Finding the right quatrains will be difficult. But in Century 3, Quatrain 64, it talked about, quote, long rest at Ionian port, which I believe is Iran or Iranian misspelled. That must be about the embargo, while Persia is modern-day Iran. While in Century 7, Quatrain 40, talked about within cask anointed outside with oil and grease. Cask means containers. Can you say that is not the 4 cargo ships loaded with oil? In ancient times, second watch probably represented from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. At second watch through, they will do great deeds. Could well simply mean that from 9 p.m. through to 12 a.m., much of the deeds will be accomplished. But who did it? We don't know yet. Does Nostradamus know? Maybe. But we must decode this quatrain to reveal what he knew, or wait until the events unfold to see if he got it right. This is Ken Peters. Thank you for watching.